Good evening to everybody. That is the International Human Rights Law students. Karibu sana. Perhaps that I am at the verge of it teaching the syllabus over, but a bit repetition we can say now. And I already given the 15-mark questions to you, and you have to fix the time. It will be a physical examination, and the two questions you are supposed to do if you are not be mistaken. Each one carry the 10 marks, 20 marks for the test 2, 20 marks for the test 1, thus 40 marks for the internal assessment and 60 marks for the university examination. Please correct me if I am wrong. Yes, participants, are you present over there? Please read what I posted on the screen. Here I posted on the screen is the regional production of human rights. Yes. So there are three regionals are there because there is no International Human Rights Court at one like the ICJ and the International Criminal Court, only one, but in the three regions, three courts are there. A regional protection of the human rights, the European system of the human rights, the treaty is Convention for the Protection of the Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. And its judicial mechanism is European Court of Human Rights. If I not be mistaken, it is a Strasbourg in France. The quasi-judicial mechanism is the European Committee of the Social Rights. That is number one. Number two, Inter-American System of Human Rights. Its treaty is American Convention on the Human Rights, Civil and Political Rights. It is a convent treaty. The judicial mechanism is Inter-American Court of Human Rights, the judicial mechanism. And its quasi-judicial mechanism is Inter-American Commission on the Human Rights. The quasi-judicial mechanism is there. Participants, are you hearing me? Please unmute and speak. And the third one is African System of the Human Rights. That is the treaty is the African Charter on the Human and People Rights, the treaty. And the judicial mechanism is African Court on Human and People's Right. And the quasi-judicial mechanism is African Commission on the Human and the People Rights. So with the treaty, the court was formed in the Arusha, that is called the African Courts on Human and People's Right in Arusha, that is in Tanzania. So we'll be proud of it. At least one human rights court is there in Tanzania. Of course, Organization of African Union is there. African Union, which the base is there in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Yes, and these are the things which you want to make it out. If you happen to see the, yes, if you happen to see the 15 March questions, yes, which I have given here, 15 important questions for the test 2 for the, there is a test 2 for the students of international human rights law. That the first question that I made very much clear, and those are light on the origin and the evolution of the international human rights. Second question, international politics and human rights. Third question, what is the international system in the United Nations? Just weigh your answer. And how, fourth question is how UN promote the human rights violation, discuss. The fifth question is explain the role played by the United Nations in protecting the human rights violation. And the sixth question is as far as how far effectiveness of the UN in the human rights violations. Seventh question is explain the nutshell about the 7 main treaties, human rights to promote and protect production of the international human rights. Number 3, of course, it's not the international human rights, it's a human rights. Of course, it goes with the international. What is the impact of this globalization in the international human rights law? And the 9th is what are the defects observed in the international human rights law? 10th is write the brief how the 3 regional tribunals handle the situation and the promote and protect the human rights law. Just now I made the 3 regional tribunals. Then the 11th is international human rights law and human rights law strive to protect the lives of health and dignity of the individuals. Do you agree with this statement or justify? And the 12th question is what is the role of the African Court on Human and People's Rights to promote and protection of human rights violation? And the 13th is what is the role of the Inter-American Court of Human Rights on the promotion and protection of the human rights violations. And the 14th is what is the role of the European Court of Human Rights to promote and protection of the human rights violation. The 15th, what is the impact of the international relations on the human rights discuss. So whenever you are dealing the things and whenever the cases are there, you can cite the cases. That example, you can cite it, and that will be a strengthen your answer or consolidate your answer. Participants, Are you hearing me? Please unmute and read or say something at least. Okay, next. What I want to share is here is the next one is yes. See, we have seen that human rights, regional protection of human rights, of course, is a Natalia Rose Torres Joniga. We should take the compliment from her because we have taken this information from her, so we could acknowledge it. Otherwise, it leads to plagiarism. Thank you very much, madam, for using for my students to teach your handout, which is posted on the public domain. Natalia Torres Juniga. Thank you very much, madam. The question, madam or sir, because we don't know which person is there, but it doesn't matter. Thank you, sir. Questions is, do you have any experience or knowledge on the universal and regional system? What are the similarities and differences between them? It is about the regionalism, regional code. What is your opinion on the functioning of the regional system of the protection of the human rights? Are you aware of the challenges that regional system of the human rights face? So this is the second question. So regional protection on human rights goes in this way. Regional human rights mechanism play an important role in the monitoring the government compliance with the human rights obligations. They operate the harmonious coexistence with the universal regime. Number two, bulletin. There are three main regional system of protection of human rights are there. Number one, the Organization of American States. It is there. The Costa Rica. The number two, the Council of Europe in the Strasbourg, France. The Organization of the African Union, African Unity, or the African Union there in Addis Ababa. But the court is there. But the court is there in the Arusha, that is the Tanzania. So regional protection of the human rights, the three system of the protection of human rights has a key features. The existence of the compliance mechanisms whose nature is judicial and quasi-judicial nature. What are the difference between the judicial and quasi-judicial mechanisms? Yes, in the judicial mechanism, everything on the due process of law. In the quasi-judicial mechanism, the theory of equity will prevail over there. That is, the individuals who use the Thomas mechanism, those mechanisms, and can seek justice and reparations for the human rights violations committed by the state parties. A state party is a state that has ratified one of the regional human rights treaty. Now that we have seen this, the regional protection of the human rights in the beginning, and what would be the advantage of developing the regional system of human rights. If you happen to see in that way, the advantage for the developing the human rights is accessibility. Individuals have more accessibility to the mechanism of protection of human rights. That is the geography, language, and familiarity. That is the accessibility. Have more accessibility to the mechanism for the protection of human rights, geography, language, and familiarity. Number two, bullet is enforceability. Regional system can facilitate the enforcement of the human rights obligation. Neighboring countries can exert more pressure to achieve the implementation of the compliance. Yes, there is a more mechanism would be there, more power would be there for the implement of the enforcement of the human rights violations if any decision is given by the courts, the respective courts. Next, promotion, that is the third bullet. In addition, deciding the individual complaints, the regional human rights system engage in a range of human rights monitoring and promotion activities. Not only it will take up the cases, but it will monitor also and promote the activities also. It will be done, undertaken by them. Regional tribunals, regional courts, regional system and national system, how it can work together. Principle of subsidiary and the human rights system are not meant to replace the role of national court. Yes, national courts are there, definitely human rights system are there, but national courts will implement the human rights instruments decisions. If such decisions not made by it, or if any aggrieved party would be there, yes, he can approach to the human rights courts in the respective places. Like I told you, in the Inter-American, there in the Costa Rica, and the number two, European is the Strasbourg, number three, the regional court would be there, the African continent is in Arusha. As a general first requirement to start the proceeding before any one of the regional system of human rights is there. Number first, to attempt resolving the alleged violations of human rights using the available and appropriate local remedies. The first and foremost, we have to approach the municipal court if any violation should be there, and they will, if the local remedies are exhausted over there at the time that you have to approach to the regional courts of the tribunals. And of course, we can approach to the Court of Appeal also in Tanzania. If you are not happy by the Tanzanian Court of Appeal, at the time, you have to approach to the People's Court, that the tribunal is there, which is there in Arusha, because it's the African continent. It is given. Yes, welcome, Sakina Pal. And today is your scheduled day, but you still you did not. I made the 5:10, but today I made the 5:30 also, that people are not present. Yes. Impact of human rights treaties in the international legal orders. Yeah, read this one. The impacts of the. Sakina, unmute and read.
Impact of the human rights treaties in the national legal orders. The case law of the regional tribunals constitutes an important source of information and guidance for judges and lawyers at the national level. Keywords: dialogue among judges, evolutionary interpretation.
Because I told you the three regional intercourts, the regional courts are there, tribunals are there to protect and promote the human rights. At that time, they also decide the cases. And please go through the cases of the three regions. At least one or two cases should be mentioned in your in your answer. Of course, I will also try to make it out the list of the cases decided by the three regional courts. Some of them which are very much important, we will discuss in the coming classes. When you are giving the answer to the question, yes, we should have to support your stand with the cases also. That is very important factor. And one should not figure it. One should not forget it, because generally the cases will be there to support your way, support your answer. Moreover, it is in persuasive value also, and it will be followed also in the regional wise. So that is an important factor. We can make it out. Then African system of human rights is there. In African Union, 55 members are there total. And where is the African Union is situated? Anyone? Where is this African Union is situated in the African continent? Headquarter, I want to see. If you don't know it, you say pass on, or you can give the answer. Yes, please.
It is in Ethiopia. It is in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa.
Where? Say again.
It is in Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. Yes.
Yes.
Instruments. What are the instruments are there? The African Charter on the Human People's Rights, that the instrument 1982. Because of that one, the Arusha Court was established over there to protect and promote the human rights in the African continent. African Charter on the Right of the Welfare of the Child is there, 1990. That is the then Protocol on the African Charter on the Right of the Woman in Africa is there. The three, 1982, 1919, 2003, they are the emphasizing more for the enforcement machinery for the regional courts. Now the regional courts are very much strong. They will take the decision and they will try to implement the decisions also. If not, a sanction should be there by the member state. Or the other member state will pressurize to it also to implement such a decision made by these African courts or regional courts. African Charter is there. The African Charter on the Human Rights, People Rights are recognized the civil and political, economic and social and cultural rights of the individuals of human beings. Because these two charters were there, which is given a great effective for the enforcement of the enforcement mechanism. Number one, so somebody is the right to respect of one's life and personal integrity. Article 14 says over there, right to respect of one's life and personal dignity. Number two, the right to respect one's inherent dignity as a human being, including the freedom of from slavery, the slave trade, torture, cruel, inhuman and degrading punishment and treatment under Article 5. So Article 5 says clearly that no torture would be there, no slavery would be there, no inhuman degrading punishment would be there. Degrading would be there, then the punishment will be made for such a treatment in Article 5. Next bullet is the right to education and freely to take part in the cultural life of one's country. Right to education, yes, Tanzania made the right to education. It is the free for the up to the Shula Msingi, in the primary level, I believe. Is it free in the higher secondary also? Participant, anyone can unmute and give me the answer. Does it free in the secondary education in Tanzania?
Yes.
Okay. So, but
Currently,
14 years, up to 14 years, it will be free education would be there. Okay, next point is the right of the family Yes, the aged and the disabled and special measure of protections, Article 18 will clearly says. So these protections are mainly it will undertake if any violations would be there in the Article 4 and Article 5, Article 17 and 18, then one can file a case in the court of law. First, we can make it a municipal courts. If you are not happy by the municipal courts, the apex courts that you can approach the Court of Appeal in Tanzania, in the India, is the Supreme Court of India. And if not, that is there, then the regional courts would be there, would take the decision of it. So one can approach the regional court as the last resort. So African Charter recognize the following rights of the people. Read this one. What is the African Charter recognize the following rights of the people? Unmute and read.
The right to existence of all peoples, including right to self-determination, the right of all peoples to assist in their liberation struggle against foreign domination, be it political, economic, and cultural. Article 20. The right of all peoples freely to dispose of their wealth and natural resources. Article 21. The right of all peoples to their economic, social, and cultural development. Article 22. The right of all peoples to national and international peace and security. Article 23. The right of all peoples to a general satisfactory environment favorable to their development. Article 24.
Yes, these are the articles which will say about the African recognize the following rights of the people, because the charter it is clearly mentioned the articles. So if any violations would be there by the individual, by the party, by the state, by the organization, by any other person, operator would be there, that will be taken an action in the respective state. If the state fails to take an action, an individual or an organization will file a case in the regional courts. Of course, one can file it in the local courts. If it is not happy by the local court's decision, they can approach to the court of the last resort is the African courts, that the tribunals for the promotion, the production of the human rights are concerned. Now the organs are concerned. The African Commission on the Human People's Rights is the component to number one, promote the human rights and correcting the documents, undertaking studies, disseminating the information, making the recommendation, formulating the rules and principles and cooperation with their institutions. That is the promotion for the human rights is concerned. Next point is ensure the protection of the human rights and people rights, human and people's right. So by receiving an interstate communication and the reports, communication other than the state parties, even the other than the state parties can also communicate to it. Then the periodic report from the state parties, the state has to make, because in each state in the nation there would be there human rights commission is there. At least one or two would be situated. In Tanzania, how many human rights commissions officers are situated in Tanzania? Yes. How many commissions are situated in the Tanzania to send the reports yearly to the International Human Rights Commission? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, say pass on. Don't waste the time. Several times I told you, one in Dar es Salaam, another is in Dodoma, the Human Rights Commission offices. And they will send the report, they will investigate and send the report to the International Human Rights Commission. Even they will send the report, and if the report will be asked by the local, that is the regional court, tribunal, which is there, the People's Rights Court in the Arusha, yes, they do have to submit the report to them also. Your problems in the African system, what is the problems are there? Resistance against the African Court and African Commission. Number one, what are the cause of resistance? There's Rwanda, Tanzania, Angola. These are the people where they are tough, they say. And how is there a situation, other regional system of human rights? Do they face the resistance? Yes, ratification for the enforcement. These are the two things would be there. One is, it is better of this for the state to ratify the human rights treaties. Of course, Tanzania ratified the treaties. Many of the treaties are ratified and domesticated also in the domestic legislations. Yes, when it say domesticated itself, it clearly shows that it is there in their municipal laws. Yes, write and treaties and work towards their goals, and should state about the ratification of a human rights treaty until they are in the position to comply and therefore all the obligations and rights of the stem from the treaty. For each stem and the branch of the treaty would be taken into consideration to ratify it and in their municipal laws. Yes, Case Social and Economic Right Action Center, that is SERAC, and a Center for the Economic and Social Right, CESR, that is the initialism, that is in Nigeria. Now let us see the Inter-American System of Human Rights. This is in the belt of the that side, United States, the American side. Organization of the American States, that is, there are 35 members are there. Instrument, American Declaration on the Rights and Duties of Man, 1948. And the another rights is American Convention on Human Rights, 1969, and other protocols. You will observe that. Which one? Inter-American System of Human Rights. It is also one of the tribunal or the court which will undertake and to see that the human rights promote and protection of the human rights will be undertaken under this system. Because I told you there is no one court like the ICJ and the International Criminal Court, the Hague in Netherlands, but we have the three regional tribunals or courts would be there to undertake to see that the human rights violations would be protected. The organs are, we can say, Inter-American Commission on the Human Rights has diverse functions. Yes, read anyone, unmute and read this one. Organs, which I highlighted and put on the screen. Anyone?
Inter-American Commission on Human Rights has diverse functions to prepare such studies or reports on the situation of human rights in the region, to make recommendations to the governments of the member states for the adoption of progressive measures in favor of human rights, to receive, analyze, and investigate individual petitions that allege violation of human rights, with respect to both the member states of the OAS that have ratified the American Convention and those member states that have not ratified it.
What is OAS? Yes? Even myself also.
Organization of American States.
Yes. At that time, they ratified the American conventions, and the member of the states that have not ratified it, we will see. Because all these three tribunals, they work together and in cooperation, it will be there. Both the American, Europe, as well as the African charters where the Narushite is there. So the organs, the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, Inter-American Court of Human Rights is the competent to examine the cases submitted to it by the states parties and the commissions. Either state parties may file a case over there, submit it, or the commission may submit it. And even the individual also can submit it if the violations should be there, if nobody is taking care of them. The court is an activist tribunal. For example, it has created a mechanism for the supervision of the complaints of the cases. It provides a broader range of the reparation, the pecuniary and non-pecuniary. The punishment would be given in that way also. Problems in the system is economic crisis affecting the function of the commission. Case below, Monte versus Brazil case law, where it is a crisis with affecting the function of the commission that is clearly mentioned in the case law. The court faces the problem of the compliance of its decision. It is the enforcing machinery, I told you, because of the two ratification which is made in the 1960, if I not be mistaken, or 1966, which has given the more power for the enforcement machinery. The state parties criticize the activism of the court. Then when you come to the matter of the European system of the human rights, Council for the Europe, there are 47 members are there in that European system of the human rights. What are the instruments is the European Convention on the Human Rights in 1950. That is one of the convention where it is established. The next is the additional protocol to the European Convention. The third one is the European Social Charter, 1961. The revised version is 1996. So these are the instruments where it will be established. It is Strasbourg, France. Organs, European Court of Human Rights. Number 2, Bullet is European Committee of the Social Rights. These are the organs. The European Court of Human Rights, the convention that originally created both the European Commission and the European Court of Human Rights. Currently, the implementation of the European Conventions on Human Rights is monitored exclusively by the European Court of Human Rights. So then a person, an individual can approach it, a state can approach it, a commission can approach it, then they submit the report, they submit the file over there, and it will be undertaken. The European Commission does not exist anymore That is, the European Commission does not exist anymore in the Protocol 11 1998. The Commission, they say, they removed in 1998 what they said. The court can receive and examine the interstate cases. So one state to inter cases are inter cases. Internal states are inter cases. One state to another state. An application from any person, even from any person, non-governmental organizations, NGOs also can file it. A group of individuals claiming to be the victim of the violation of the rights. If the individuals group would be there because they are the victim of the violation of the rights are there, they are granted by the convention or its protocol, either by the treaty or convention or charter or the protocols, doesn't matter. They can approach these courts for getting the justice where the violations are there. Yes, next, problems amount to the petitions before the court. Resistance, that the case law is Hist versus United Kingdom, which clearly mentioned what are the problems would be there, what are the hitches would be there for a petition to be moved in the court, what are the resistance are there, that is clearly mentioned in this court. So whenever you are saying anything, better you read at least five decisions from the each regional courts, which are very much important, landmark judgments are there. And here also there are 3 cases are given. You read that in total that we discuss in the class also till you will say that, sir, it is enough for us because we will give the time for the classes. But as per the almanac is concerned, and today I posted to you, what is the last date of instruction? Yes, sir, we did not see it. Okay, later after seeing it, you can make it because we have to follow it the way that it will be given. And this online classes also that I told you that if you come and see also I will use the same system of it. But the people doesn't know the value of the online classes. They say that no, the internet is not good and they could not hear properly because there is no such an impact would be there. The impact would be there. But if you teach only 1 day 3 classes, I don't think that it will come to your mind because a man's concentration is not more than 15 minutes or 10 minutes sometimes. After it will deviate it again, you have to concentrate for 10 to 15 minutes. Thus in any case it will not exceed more than 50. That is the reason that even the TCU or the UGC in the India, they will fix the class period is 45 only. At the most 50, not more than 50. Because after 50 you cannot concentrate at all. Like a glass is there, if you pour the water, how much you can pour the water in the glass? Anyone? How much water that you can pour in the glass by the mug or jug? Did you understand my question? Please say, speak. You say
No.
pass on. If you give the answer, you can give me the answer, or you can say pass on. I will be here to your rescue. Say. Say pass on.
I didn't understand the question, sir.
How much you can pour, P-O-U-R, pour water in the glass with a mug or a jug? You know P-O-U-R, pour? I repeat the question. How much water you can pour in the glass or into the glass by a jug or a mug or a pot? Is it idea is clear? Grace, how do you say Kiswahili? How much water we can pour in the glass by a jug?
By a jug.
Pouring. What do you say pouring in Kiswahili? Pouring, kama hivi, pouring. See, I can show you that what is pouring you could not understand, no?
Yeah, to pour, right?
See, like this. How much water that you could pour in the glass? Say it is a glass. Think it is a glass. How much water I can pour in it? See, I'm showing you the action. Okay, let me presume that this is a glass. This is a glass and this is a mug. How much water I can pour in the glass? Did you get me at least now?
Yes.
Give me the answer. You say pass on if you don't understand. If you did not know the capacity to give the answer. Say pass on. Did you say pass on? Or you are going to give the answer to my question?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to give the answer? You want to say pass on? Don't be silent. Please don't be silent.
Pass on, sir.
Why you are taking that much time to say pass on? Sir, we are thinking. You cannot think beyond it. Okay. You can pour the water into the glass up to brimful. You know brim? That is a brim. The round one is called brim. You can pour the water into the glass up to brimful. If you pour more, what will happen? If you pour more, what will happen? Why you are keeping quiet? I did not understand. I'm showing with the action.
What?
I'm showing with the action. Brimful means upper part of the brim. You'll say round one. B-R-I-M, brim. Brimful only we can contain the water. Because after that, if you pour more, what will happen?
Water will spill.
It spills down. It spills down.
Yes.
Are you following me?
Yes.
A man's capacity is only 45 to 50 minutes only, not 3 hours to concentrate. So you have to make the break again 45 minutes, 50 minutes, we can concentrate. If you teach 33 hours, it is stretch, and I'm sure that you will not get more than 45 minutes content. At the most, okay, let you presume 60 to 65 content. That's what I want to convey to you. But you are arranging in that way, 2 hours class, 3 hours class. No, it is not advisable. For our convenience, we are making like that. But a class should not be more than 50 minutes. Number one. Number two, it should be 3 days in a week only. Not even a continuity. Not consecutive. So anyway, that what I want to say is a man's capacity would be there. And of course, we will make some deviations here and there. And you have seen that what are the 15 questions which I framed out. I posted to you, sir, we did not see. I posted to your WhatsApp. Did you see?
Yes, we have seen them.
Now you check the almanac. You check the almanac because we are supposed to load the coursework the stipulated time. Of course, the 3, it's not a big issue. At least in 1 hour I can finish it and I can load it. But it does not mean we should be in time, because we should not give the chance to anybody to say something, because a lawmaker should not be a lawbreaker. Anything that you would like to ask? And daily our class is there as usual as per the schedule till the, and if you want to come the personally also, I can take the class in my office, and you know my office, because you are only 3. I can conduct your class any place wherever it is there, if possible in the office also. So that other people should not think that there is no physical class, but they did not know what is the impact of the online class, how it would be there. If any person miss also, he can watch it, repeat it till he will understand. But in the physical class, once it is over, it is over. Once the arrow is come out of the bow, it's over. The turn is over. Whether you understand it, whether you did not understand it. Of course, if you did not understand, you would have to ask in the here also. If you could not understand, you can ask me, repeat me. Repeat the questions to me also, you can say. In that way also you can ask me. And by this time that you are very much habituated to understand, to know it, and what I'm saying, and what you understood. Sir, sometimes the Matandao is not there. Matandao should be there because you have to sit at least for 1 hour, that place where the signals are strong. Number one. Number two, one day you don't eat, doesn't matter, because the fasting is good. You will become more smart and more handsome, more beautiful also. Handsome for the male and beautiful for the female. And you can load it at least 10,000, and so that it can hear it. In the hearing, it will not take the more what say, MBs. Yes, anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me, because now the time, still we do have a little time to us, because it is a refreshing only, because I already told you that we covered in a better manner, and now what is we are going to do is the revision. Anything that you would like to ask, you can ask me now. Unmute and speak. Unmute and speak. I say unmute and speak. I could see that you are here. Christian Masanja is present, Donati Malibo is present, Sakina Paul is present, but I could not see the Sakina Paul microphone. Yes, now I saw it, but I could not hear her voice. Anyone can unmute and speak, so that I could know that you are with me.
Yes, Prof.
After 4 times I did, then yes, Prof, that you are seeing. Yeah, read what is there in the course content. Number 2. Read what is there in the course content number 2, which I
International
posted on the screen.
System of the United Nations.
I say read 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, 2.6.
Okay.
International system.
System.
If you read the both. If you don't read, you don't read. At least decide yourself. Okay, each 3 no. Read one each.
International system, the United Nations.
2.2, another person.
The United Nations Human Rights Protection System.
Then 2.3, another person.
The United Nations Human Rights Promotion System.
Then next round,
The
2.4.
effectiveness of the United Nations Human Rights System.
I say round, another person, another round. 2.4. Another person, I said.
The effectiveness of the United Nations Human Rights System.
Next, another person, 2.5.
The problem of regionalism in the United Nations Human Rights System.
Next, 2.6. Another round, another person.
Problems of applicability of international law and international politics and their impact on human rights.
When you read the 2.1 to 2.6, anything that we did not cover? I repeat, from 2.1 to 2.6, anything which I did not cover? Answer. Sir, we did not understand. Did you understand my question?
Yes.
Then why you are not giving the answer? Sema. Did I cover all? I did not cover all.
Covered.
You have to give, sir, you have covered all from 2.1 to 2.6. The next classes, we can see the revision.
Yes.
Okay, with this, I would like to stop the today class. Then we'll see. Next class is on Monday. Please come. And if you come on Friday also, physically also, I can teach the class. Physically also, I can teach the class. if you are coming over there. So that other could not will say that there is no physical classes here. But people doesn't know the TCU, there is a provision is there. Hybrid classes should be conducted. There is the TCU rules are there. I read it because I found it here on the table of the Moshi Cooperative University. I found the TCU hybrid. Hybrid means both the way, conventional way as well as a digital way.
Yes.
But anyway, that is not applicable to the at least 900 people. It will not be applicable because everybody cannot afford it. But you are only 3, and you are more of the employees, and I am sure that the rule of the 900 people could hear on the online class. I don't think that they do understand anything. But the 3 people definitely will understand, because when the number is less, understanding is more. When the number is more, understanding is less. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Moreover, you are not a first degree, you are a second degree. What do you say, second degree? The LLM in Kiswahili. I know the Cheti is a certificate. Shahada, Ashta Shahada is a diploma. Shahada is a degree. Shahada ya pili, can I say? Please speak.
Shahada ya uzamili.
Shahada Zami. Then what about the PhD?
Shahada ya uzamivu.
PhD.
Yes, PhD is shahada ya uzamivu, but master's is shahada ya uzamili.
Okay, Shahada Zamiri is the second degree. Shahada
Yes.
Zami, who is the PhD? Thank you very much. I could learn something from you. The language. Language is not anybody's property. Who speaks,
Yes.
language belongs to him. Okay, I will wind up.
Yeah.
You want to say anything, you can say now. Do you want to say anything? Shall I close? Do you want to say something? Shall I close the session? Shall I end the session? Say yes or no. Shall I end the
Yes, sir.
session? I asked the question, shall I end the session?
Yes, Prof.
Why you are taking that much time to say yes? Sir, I did not hear you. I did not catch your word. Okay. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Bye. Have a good day.